I'm not that keen parking the car in public car parks, least of all service stations on the motorway. But I've come back and luckily the car's unscathed. I always try my best to choose a car parking space where you minimise the risk. Maybe I haven't chosen that well. But anyway, hi everyone, welcome to another video, where today you find me on the M40 at a service station, having just had a coffee and a sausage sandwich, which was very nice. I'm on my way to the Aston Martin Museum that's run and looked after by the Aston Martin Heritage Trust. So I've never been there before, so I'm really looking forward to going to see what they have on display and to learn a bit more about Aston Martin history. Because as you know by now, if you've watched my channel for a while, I'm a big fan of Aston Martins. So I've got another 50 minutes to go until we get to the Aston Martin Museum, and then we'll take a look around. So you join me when we get there. Before we go into the museum, let me show you where we are. As you've seen from the images, the museum is in a stunning 15th century barn, which is in Drayton Street, Wallingford in South Oxfordshire. It's surrounded by a stunning countryside. It's approximately 50 miles from central London and around 175 miles from where I live in Yorkshire. So it took me around 3 hours to get here, although as far as motorways go, the M40 is a fab motorway to drive. The Trust was founded by the Aston Martin Owners Club in 1998 to protect the ever-increasing collection being gathered by its members. Since then, the Trust has grown substantially and works very hard to capture and share the history, evolution and ongoing story of one of the most famous marques in British history. There are thousands of items not only on show in the museum, but being stored, sorted through and archived by the small team here. And the purpose of this video is to encourage you to visit, as apart from the barn itself, which is stunning, the items they have here and the way they're presented is just fantastic. Now I'm going to show you just a few items and a couple of cars currently in the museum, which the team do change around from time to time. So if you visit the museum during the summer this year, by the winter they may have replaced some of the items and cars on display. What a stunning place this is. The museum is not open 7 days a week, so it's best to plan your visit by going on the Aston Martin Heritage Trust website. It's really straightforward to book a place. Simply click on Museum, planning your visit. It then has useful information such as if you want a tour of the museum, the opening times and where to find it. If you click here, book a ticket, it will first show you when it's open. Incidentally, I had a bit of a tour with the amazing tour guides here and then took my time to look around, just losing myself in all the displays. Anyhow, let's get back to the booking tickets process. Then you can select the date and time that corresponds with your diary and just continue with the rest of the process. So let me show you around and we'll take a look at a few items and cars that are currently on display. Now this video won't do what's here justice, so I really do encourage you to visit yourself. This is an interesting exhibit as you enter the museum, and it's not the only cutaway Aston Martin that the museum has, although it's the only one on display today. Here you can see the 6-litre V12 engine cut away and various other parts missing, so you can take a look inside. In this instance, the shell was constructed from a combination of aluminium and carbon fibre. The central structure, including the floor and bulkheads, utilised a bonded aluminium structure. Here you can see the bodywork and the carbon fibre weave on the wing and the roof here. Different types of wheel design here. Just so much to look at. This is a significant car for any fan of Aston Martin, as it's the oldest surviving Aston Martin in the world. And it's right here in front of me. And we'll also take a closer look at that Bovis race car shortly. And here, sitting proud on the front here, is the first insignia of the Aston Martin brand, the A and the M. Now that logo was created in the same year this little car was built, way back in 1921. It was designed by Kate Martin, who was the wife of the English businessman Lionel Martin, who co-founded Aston Martin. The AM logo was inspired by the logos of other prominent luxury car brands of the time. It was used until 1927, when it was replaced by the iconic winged Aston Martin badge. The logo didn't make it onto the steering wheel just yet. Built in 1921, it was called the A3 due to being fitted with a Type A engine on chassis number 3. And look back here at that wide, triangular and slim exhaust. So this was the third of 5 prototype cars constructed by Bamford and Martin Limited before they began series production. In 1921, the A3 set several light car records at Brooklands, followed by a first place finish in the Essex Motor Club Cop Hill Climb in 1922. I just have to show you what's in this glass cabinet, and this is yet another great reason why you should visit this place and see these items for yourself. I'm sure you know, but 1959 was a significant year for Aston Martin, as thanks to the DBR1, Roy Salvadori and Carroll Shelby, they came first and second overall at Le Mans, an amazing achievement. Now can you believe what's in front of us? This racing helmet belonged to Roy Salvadori. It's white, cork lined with white leather peak, cloth ear flaps and chin strap, and there he is in this photograph with Carroll Shelby having a good old discussion during the Le Mans race. Now Salvadori drove most of the 59 Le Mans race as Shelby was quite ill. And just as amazing, here we have a blue Avon set of overalls and a helmet worn by Sir Stirling Moss. The museum has a letter dated the 16th of February 1961 written by Stirling when he gifted this helmet to them. An extract reads, "I regret to inform you that the hat that I used whilst racing for Aston's is no more, inasmuch as it was the one I was wearing when I crashed at Spa, and consequently it is in rather a battered state. However, if this would interest you, you're welcome to have it. Yours sincerely, Stirling Moss." This number plate, VMF63, is from a DB2 racing car, which was driven in the 1950 Le Mans by Parnell Brackenbury to second in class, and won its class at the Ulster TT. Again driven by Parnell, Aston Martin assembled a trio of team cars for the 1950 season. In May that same year, the cars were registered VMF 63, 64 and 65. This checkered flag is from the 1959 Nürburgring 1000 km race. Winning teams often got to keep the flag from the race. The 1959 race was won by Sir Stirling Moss and Jack Fairman, driving an Aston Martin DBR1. This Nimrod Bovis racing jacket is on loan, as is this car, from Viscountess Alison Diana Down, who was a previous director of the Aston Martin Owners Club from 2002 to 2022. Imagine sitting in that cockpit and doing 213 miles per hour in this. Now this is a Group C competition car, an Aston Martin Nimrod that came 6th overall, 4th in its class at the 1982 British Racing Drivers Club Silverstone, driven by Mike Salmon and Ray Mallock. It has an Aston Martin V8 engine which produces 570 brake horsepower and propels its occupant to 60 miles per hour in 4.3 seconds and has a top speed of 213 miles per hour. In 1982 that was fast, but when you compare that to my own Vantage, which does 0 to 60 in about 3.6 seconds and a top speed of 195 miles per hour, you can see how the evolution of the car industry continues to develop at pace. What amazing times we live in. This car first ran in the Bovis livery in the 1,000-kilometre Brands Hatch race, finishing 9th in heavy rain. I wanted to show you this stunning 1934 Olter car before we finish. This has just 85 brake horsepower and gets to 60 miles per hour in around 28 seconds. However, unbelievably, it has a top speed of 100 miles per hour. There were only 21 production Olsters made, although this is one of only 4 that were made with a 2-4 seat body. Let me show you the Aston Martin badge which bends around the front here. This costing £750 in 1934, which is equivalent to around £47,000 in today's money. Although if you were to sell this car today, it would likely fetch a few million, so a very valuable car. I think this has a 1.5 litre single overhead cam 4-cylinder engine, and this engine is immaculate. Lovely clocks, dials and switches in here. And these seats are worn, makes you think of all the history with this now 91-year-old Aston Martin. And a spare wheel here at the back. The car was left to the Aston Martin Owners Club in 1974 by Louis Treese. Just stunning, and lovely to see one of these here. To conclude, I just wanted to show you the selection of stunning trophies here displayed in this rather large glass cabinet. This is just a small selection of trophies that Aston Martin Heritage Trust have. One of these checkered flags was waved at the finish of the 1959 Le Mans 24 Hours and the other at the 1959 RAC Tourist Trophy. What an amazing selection. I hope you enjoyed that short film with just a small selection of images and descriptions from the amazing models, trophies, cars and numerous other items that the Aston Martin Heritage Trust look after, care for and display at this stunning barn in the Oxfordshire countryside. If you were thinking of paying this museum a visit, please do so. I really recommend. big thank you to the team here at the museum, which is also the Owners Club HQ. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, as there's plenty more to come. In fact, get a load of what's coming up. See you on the next one.